Wake up to your future like you've never seen before.
Welcome to your inspirational Astrology Horoscope for Wednesday, October 24th, 2018. I'm Astrologer David Palmer, the Leo King, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Well, thanks so much for being a part of FutureLife.tv. I appreciate your subscription always and getting these daily videos and more. And of course, my Venus retrograde videos, they're on sale right now. You can get them at inclusiveastrology.com for your individual sun sign, your individual rising or moon sign. Pick at the checkout at the drop-down bar on which ones that you want to buy. It's getting intense, I'm sure you can feel. But before we take a look at all the planets, let's take a look at the Leo King's planet energy meter to understand where all the energy is for your Wednesday. And I'm sending you lots of great energy. I am sending you lots of love and light. And I'm hoping that you have an awesome, amazing, and spectacular, wonderful, and amazing hump day. And talk about a big hump in the sky. We got a full moon, so it's going to be at the extreme position. Woo! The full moon in Taurus. And this is not just a full moon, folks. When you get the nodes exactly squaring this full moon, in Leo and Aquarius, these fixed, points at the moment that are invisible knots that are defining this road of our destiny and our calling, and where the universe karmically is bringing up a lot about rebellion, connection, and love, and following our hearts. We have a big choice on our plate. We have desires with the sun now in Scorpio. We have things that we need to hold on to that are of value in our life. But how do we make this all come together with a full moon on top of Uranus in Taurus? This is about not trying to maybe fix things, but raise things to higher levels. And things that can't rise to higher levels are definitely not of value anymore. And definitely will meet some sort of form of an ending. Whether that's consciously in yourself or physical things in your life and attachments, this is definitely a time in our life where there is a major cleaning out of the things that we desire, the things that we want, and making sure they're in alignment with our heart. And if you watch in my Deep Astrology this week, I talk a lot about how this energy is really bringing up a lot about this razor kind of rebellious, kind of erotic edge in our life and side of our consciousness, and this more elegant, more beautiful, more loving side. And what side do we pick, or how do we bring both together, or how do we make sure that we pick the right road right now towards that North Node in Leo, that true heart. Now, it's easy for us to rebel. It's easy for us right now to want to say, I'm over this and I'm out of here and I don't think that this is working and it's unfixable, and later. And that's very valid in a lot of points. But there also is other options, which is doing the work. Saturn is in a nice sextile and trine to this full moon, and will trine the moon later today. And with this Saturn aspect, this is about long term. So yes, it puts a lot of pressure on you on which choice do you make, but it's clear to pick a more elegant road that also has that excitement, that has that edge that you need, but isn't toxic. Because this brings up toxicity. The reason why, Neptune is in a weird angle to this full moon. It is making a semi-square to the full moon. It is making a sessi-square to the sun. This is definitely toxic waters that we need to be careful of jumping into, especially when it comes to desires and wants, without wanting to maybe do this kind of more sobering but long-term and honoring and respecting work. And I know that it can feel sobering of the choice that you know is right, but putting down some of these pleasures and desires. Remember, Venus is retrograding and it's almost about to conjunct the sun here by Friday. And so we need this moment here to really start to look at what's important, what's sustainable, and what is elegant. What is elegant? And what also does give our desires and our needs and our wants. Because Scorpio is a life force. And it is this life force that is something that is so important for us to use, instead of using it in a more kind of pleasuristic way and wasting the life force energy, which comes up, when we talk about sex, And and we talk about the orgasm, and we talk about, how when it especially comes to manifesting right now, this is a full moon about what you can manifest and how the life of your manifesting world will look based off choices of whether you go towards escapism, radicalism, or elegance, beauty, and actually true bliss, which is a lot more simpler and might be sober, but does offer the ability to reach where you've wanted to go. Because taking the radical route, taking that edgy route is fun. Don't get me wrong. But can it truly get to the top of the mountain? Can it truly get to your real manifesting goals? Can it really do, if you are a light worker or are you somebody who feel that you have a purpose on this planet to change it, can you get there without being in that elegant place? Now we're going to see it play throughout the world with this full moon and into this week. But this Saturn is stabilizing this full moon. Even though, yes, Uranian energy tries to make it all wild and crazy, Uranus and Saturn, are the rulers of like this Saturnian kind of vibe, right? And they have a very deep connection of father-son, with Uranus being the father and Saturn being the son of Uranus. So there is this kind of father-son relationship aspect where we have to really, I think, start to kind of show ourselves this ability where we don't become like children who don't want to step into, I guess you could say, growing up and controlling our energy and controlling our needs and letting go of things that are not that really valuable that we think are, especially when it comes to that edge, that desire, and that kind of darker shade. And so this full moon really is putting you up to the test, and all of us collectively, on whether or not you are ready to make a major choice in your world about a higher road or a road in which offers quick and amazing and very seductive pleasures, but does it deliver the essence of beauty and elegance that you really know is something that is precious? And we can have both, but we have to find our way through the toxic waters of shadow work and greed and of stubbornness and find a new way out. I'm sounding like the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland. So I really believe this is a very, out of all the weeks, when it comes to karma, when it comes to, life choices, I think I have to bring up that anomaly I've been bringing up lately about what we've experienced since the end of April till basically now has been this wild anomaly. So it's like you have to realize what is an anomaly, like a very rare kind of not going to happen again event, okay? Or very minimal, like very random, not going to happen all the time, and you can go decades and decades without that kind of crazy vibe that we went through for the last 6 months. So I think that there's this part of ourselves that has to realize, like, are we making choices because we're taking that rare anomaly as an end-all be-all? Or are we looking at the lessons from that anomaly and applying that to a higher and better road and moving in that road that we know is called to our true destiny, to our true energy, to our true elegance, to our true honor, to our true respect and respecting energy and respecting people and respecting the world and respecting others and respecting ourselves with true love or fanatical radicalism. At the end of the day, too, with Mercury starting to come into its conjunction with Jupiter by this weekend, we are getting closer and closer to understanding the depths of this world that we are dealing with inside in this authentic and raw self, and realizing that there are a lot of alternatives and there are a lot of doorways. And I think also with the full moon on Uranus, that's saying there are better alternatives than just collapsing the whole entire situations in our life but maybe also looking at different ways and seeing if they can rise up. And if they can't rise up, then you know that's when it's done. Because we all do have to rise up. So I'm not saying like keep everything together, because the moon on Uranus is kind of saying there is some stuff emotionally time to let go of. But what is it that we let go of? And what is it inside of ourselves that we do? That is a tricky one. And that one comes up to the toxic energy. And that comes up to what is truly toxic, or what are you trying to almost, in many ways, tell yourself is toxic that really is not. That you are fooling yourself. I wonder what the card's going to say. We got the Temperance card upright. I don't think that we could get any more clear from the universe of angelic, beautiful, that amazing things are a journey of building in time. And they take time. And so if you're looking for instant gratification right now, and that's where you're putting all your energy into, and I like, screw this, I'm doing this, we're doing this now, we're in it. I just give you that warning that it might not turn out beautiful. We have to use a Taurus lesson. A lot of people don't like me when I use Taurus lessons. A lot of people are triggered, especially in the spiritual community, about Taurus and money and self-worth and stuff like that. But it will never go away, by the way. There will always be some sort of exchange of value, always, whether it's information, money, something, never goes away. But what I will tell you is, when you buy a cheap car that's made in a day from a factory, and there's defaults and there's recalls and all that stuff because of how fast they built and how cheap it is, that self-gratification to get a car, and as a company to also make it quick, and as a consumer to make it cheap and to just get it because you need transportation and go, in the long run, does it truly actually add up to when it breaks and it doesn't work right and it doesn't, run well and there's problems with it and it doesn't have all the things and the bells and whistles that you want? At the end of the day, you're kind of in a space where you got your gratification, but you don't feel of the value that you want to. And that's why a lot of people think, I'm weird because I used to be a car salesman and a finance manager. So, and I did boats for a long time. So this was my life before astrology. But when I sold a car, I was about showing the value of the car. Like I would literally, people would go in with the cheapest idea in their head and want, just get me in the car. But after I'd show them and I'd have them drive it and I'd have them feel, because I sold used cars too, which is really hard. It's like, look at how clunky this ride is and see how cheap it is. Just for this $1,000 more. Let me just show you what you get. They drive it. I'm like, you're going to be in this thing every day. Think about your life right now, that it's going to be every day. And your gratification, is it going to pay you off every day? I'll leave you with that. Thanks so much for all your support. I truly appreciate it. Thanks for being a part of FutureLife.tv. If you're not, go to the website, join up now, 7-day free trial. Or we're on the iPad or Apple iOS apps, which you can get at the App Store. Just type in Future Life Modern Horoscopes. You'll see it right there. Thanks so much for all your support. I truly appreciate it. Hope you get those Venus retrograde videos, and I will see you all tomorrow.
Future Life. Wake up to your future like you've never seen before.